All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to day 3 of the Russian invasion in Ukraine. How's everybody doing? We got some announcements to go through today before we can really get started. First and foremost, thanks for joining us. Make sure you're doing all the normal YouTube shill stuff, like hitting on, that thumbs up button and the subscribe button if you haven't done that already. The chair looks bored. It's really good ball bearings on the chair. If you guys aren't following our Facebook as well, make sure you do that, because on Facebook we announced our brand new merch line. We've partnered with Bunker Branding to bring our new merch to you guys. And what we are doing for the entirety of the month of March is any proceeds that we would normally receive are going to go towards veteran charity. And that is any proceeds. And specifically, that charity is the program supported by Global Giving. You can check out their Facebook page. You can check them out on charity ratings. They're an excellent international charity and have Ukraine humanitarian support that they are collecting money for. You can go check out those shirts. I will be bringing them up sometime a little bit later on so you can see them. You can run exclamation point merch, but we've got a brand new one in there. 2 brand new shirts. As a matter of fact, why don't we just take a look at those really quick now? That way we can kind of push that and move on to some of the updates from today. So the very first is remembering the Snake Island 13. Remembering the Snake Island 13. Again, any merch sales are going to go towards Ukrainian charity through @GlobalGiving. You guys can tag them. You can do whatever you like. We've tagged them a few times. That's available now. Use the command exclamation point merch to go and grab yourself one. The next one, and we should all believe in ghosts, is for the Ghost of Kiev. The Ghost of Kiev. Okay? So those are available. We launched this merch store today. We've been working on this for quite some time. And the team, our founder, Funker, has decided that all merch sales, not just from these 2 shirts, all merch sales on the Funker 530 Bunker Branding merch store will be going to Ukrainian charity. Okay? Ukrainian charity. So go check those out. Run the command exclamation point merch. We'll be bringing this back up. The more of these that we are able to put out there, the more we're going to be able to do for humanitarian aid. All right? Isn't the Ghost of Kiev a fake? I believe in ghosts. We're not sure, but it embodies the fighting spirit, right? So go take a look at it. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about is some of the footage that we've been seeing. But the first things first, we're going to kind of go over the SIGACT map from live UA map. We've got some live feeds that we're going to follow along with here. And welcome in. Let us know where you're coming from. That way we can start to have some conversation. I saw a meme earlier today that said something along the lines of thank Putin for ending COVID. That was hilarious. Let's pull up the website. The next announcement I kind of have for everybody is the website was having issues last night. We are back. The app is back online, and we don't anticipate having those issues any further. The first thing we're going to look at here and that I want to talk about is the delivery of lethal aid supplies from NATO. Right, so I'm gonna pull this video up here. Just give me a moment to get it live for you. Now, NATO reported the delivery of a huge convoy of ammunition to the Ukrainian military to aid in their defense. We're about to watch it coming up now.
Good evening. Allied leaders have just met to address the gravest threat to Euro-Atlantic security in decades. I invited NATO's close partners, Finland, Sweden, and the European Union, to our summit because this crisis affects us all. Russia has shattered peace in Europe. The people of Ukraine are fighting for their freedom in the face of Russia's unprovoked invasion. We deplore the tragic loss of life enormous human suffering and destruction. Our thoughts are with those killed, injured, and displaced. We call on Russia to stop this senseless war. Immediately cease its assaults, withdraw all its forces from Ukraine, and turn back to the path of dialogue and turn away from aggression. The Kremlin's objectives are not limited to Ukraine. Russia has demanded legally binding agreements to announce further NATO enlargement and to remove troops and infrastructure from allies that joined after 1997. We are facing a new normal in European security, where Russia openly contests the European security order and uses force to pursue its objectives. The world will hold Russia and Belarus accountable for their actions. Russia as the aggressor, Belarus as the enabler. President Putin's decision to pursue his aggression against Ukraine is a terrible strategic mistake, for which Russia will pay a severe price for years to come.
Halfway through here. This
NATO
is
allies
stuff,
and
folks.
the European Union have already introduced significant sanctions. And many of our partners around the globe have joined us. We must stand ready to do more, even if it means we have to pay a price, because we are in this for the long haul. At the same time, the Russian people must know that Kremlin's war on Ukraine will not make Russia more secure. It will not make Russia more respected in the world. It will not lead to a better future for your children. In response to Russia's massive military buildup over the past months, we have already strengthened our deterrence and defense. Yesterday, NATO allies activated our defense plans. And as a result, we are deploying elements of the NATO response force on land, at sea, and in the air, to further strengthen our posture and to respond quickly to any contingency. The United States, Canada, and European allies have deployed thousands of more troops to the eastern part of the alliance. We have over 100 jets at high alert, operating in over 30 different locations, and over 120 ships from the high north to the Mediterranean, including 3 strike carrier groups. There must be no space for miscalculation or misunderstanding. We will do what it takes to protect and defend every ally and every inch of NATO territory.
I want to pause this for a second, because that's he just said something that's very important, right? And what NATO does over the course of the next 24 could potentially have some reverberating impacts. He said very specifically, we will defend every ally. Ukraine is listed right now as a non-NATO member ally. There was a lot of gravity to what he just said, guys. I'm gonna keep going.
Today also made clear that we must continue our support to Ukraine. The Kremlin is trying to make NATO and the EU provide less support to our partners. So our collective answer must be more support to countries like Georgia, Moldova, and Bosnia-Herzegovina, to help them succeed with their democratic reforms and pursue the path that they have freely chosen. More than ever, this crisis demonstrates the importance of North America and Europe standing together in NATO. There is no security in Europe without a strong transatlantic bond. With that, I'm ready to take your questions.
Okay, that's the first video that I wanted to go through today. So that was a really important press conference from NATO right there. Let's move on to the next video, though. The next video is one that I'm not going to show you here, but I'm going to show you the thumbnail, and if you want to take a look at it, you can head over to the website. I can probably show you the first few minutes here, but I'm not going to go all the way through this because it's not something that's easy to watch. There's CCTV footage that came out of Uman, which is south of Kyiv, earlier yesterday, and it showed about a 14-year-old girl getting hit by artillery, some form of a Russian munition. Now, we have edited out the portions of this that show a small young girl crawling away from being impacted by Russian munitions. Now, you can go over and you can watch this in full, but I am going to scrub it here before we go live with it so that you can see what you're going to get yourself into. Okay, that's where we'll stop. It's coming up for you now. So in the upper right here is that 14-year-old girl. And this is slowed down right now. And about right here is when the artillery is going to hit. Right there. Now that artillery impacts somewhere right in this area here. The aftermath of this footage is not easy to watch. This is not easy to watch, but it is available to you on the app, and it's available to you on the website. The website is live. The app is live. You can head over there and take a look at it. I'm chatting with the Funker 530 boys right now. So like I mentioned, just to clarify, we have edited out that ending footage, the end of that footage. We are not here to showcase or broadcast young children crawling away from a blast. So like I mentioned, that has been edited out, but you guys can watch this video on the app and on the website. All right, let's move on to the next one that we published today. Can't believe how many people in chat are calling for World War III. Yeah, that is interesting, to say the least. Scott, are we having issues on the website right now? Good copy. All right, so we're working on an issue with the website. What I'm going to do right now is check in on some of the live feeds that we've got that are being shared with our partner, that are being shared by our partner, Poised Tactical. Let's check in over there. So we've got Sumy in the top left, Dnipro in the bottom left, and Kiev in the top right, and Kakovka in the bottom right. What are you guys seeing out there? App down. We're working on it. We're working on it. Chechnya, Russian allies moving 10,000 troops. We also did come across some footage of some Chechnyan forces. We are working on getting that stuff uploaded. We are a small team, so we are doing our best to hold it together here. Need to research on the past in Ukraine. If you dig, you'll understand more of what's going on. Okay? I honestly don't think Russians can win in Ukraine. The Ukrainians have almost a decade of fighting experience. Well, we do know that Ukraine is putting up a pretty hefty fight. They're not rolling over, just like we talked about last night. They're absolutely not rolling over whatsoever. We have footage, you know, we're working through some of those challenges, those same challenges that we've had over the past couple days. You know, something or somebody out there may not want you guys to see what we're posting, but we have footage that we've released on our app and on our website of Russian forces, Russian columns, Russian armored logistics convoys being taken out. Now, we've got reports, unconfirmed reports, of course, coming out of Ukraine stating things like 80-plus tanks, Russian tanks being destroyed. A lot of misinformation is going to come out of Ukraine over the last couple days and over the next few weeks. Folks, thank you for being here for a little bit. We're going to be live for a few hours, just going through some of the footage that we've posted to the website. We are Funker 530. If you're not familiar with us, we've been around for a little over a decade now, sharing combat footage, use of force footage, public service footage, to really help people understand what conflict and combat looks like. A lot of times it's over romanticized in the media, by Hollywood. All of our team are veterans. We have all deployed. I am Ronnie, just one of the team members. I have 2 deployments. Our founder has deployments. All of our writers do. We are doing our very best to try to cut through some of the chaff, right? Every once in a while, there'll be a clip that's shared to social media or that's shared on mainstream media, and it doesn't really provide the context. So our writers, whom are journalists, are researching this. There's an analysis tab that you can look through, and we're trying to bring you as much truth as possible. We all recognize that we have our internal bias, right? And the best thing that we can do is recognize it and try to cut through it when and where we can. Can you let me know when and if that is resolved? No internet connection. Connect and try again. Tracking. We are tracking. The site has been running well all day. No sooner than we went live, we started having more issues with the site. We are working through that problem right now. Again, we are a small team. You can count our total team on one hand. Excuse me, 1 1/5 hands. Let's go through some of the support from you guys. The support from you has been just amazing. All right, I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. I don't have good enough words. I'm not eloquent enough to relay our appreciation of your support. So Tracy, thank you for becoming a member. If you have become a member here on the YouTube, make sure you're joining our Discord. !Discord will give you the link. We've got a very, very robust discussion happening in there for conflict areas all across the globe, not just Russia's invasion of Ukraine, but also the situation in Taiwan. Folks are, having conversations about that. We've got conversation areas for South America, Africa, Yemen, Syria. There is a lot of discussion happening in there. That's where a lot of our communication takes place with the community. So please join the Discord. If you are a member and you have joined the Discord, make sure you connect your Discord to your YouTube, okay? And you do that through your Discord settings. There are some instructions in there for you. That's going to give you a role. There is a hidden area that only members are able to access. So Tracy, thank you again for becoming a member. Let me scroll here. Darren, thank you for the 20. Ozzy, thank you for the $1.99. Why Chernobyl? Still active, not a museum. Let's talk a little bit about Chernobyl. I'm going to pull up a map of Ukraine and help you understand the relative significance of Chernobyl. Coming up now. So you've got Chernobyl here in the north, right? what you should understand about this invasion is it's really three-sided. Southern, so from Crimea, eastern from Russia, and northern from both Russia and from Belarus. Right here at this little, significant activity cropping. This is Kiev. This is the capital of Ukraine. For those that aren't that aren't aware, Chernobyl is just north of that. It is the closest and fastest route to the capital from the direction that Russians are invading that you can get. This is only something like 50, 60 miles or kilometers. I don't recall which. It's from a relative sense, regardless of which, it is a very close shot. Now, there have been reports throughout the day of and video, some of which we're gonna hopefully get to here in just a little bit, of Russian troops in the Kyiv Oblast, which is essentially the suburb areas of Kyiv, of the capital. So Chernobyl, from a significance perspective, is really about the access and speed at which they can take Kyiv. Michael Ivanson, thank you for the $10 super chat. No mature content, thank you for becoming a member. Grim Skull, thank you for becoming a member. Bob Smith, thank you for the 10. Matt Demand, thank you for the 5. Let's not forget the Ghost of Kyiv. I want to bring something up for you guys. I mentioned it earlier, but we have people that are still joining us. We announced our brand new merch partner that we've been working on for months. Again, we've been here for over a decade. We have a lot of new community members, so this isn't something new that we're bringing merch to the table. All of our merch for the month of March is going to go towards Ukrainian charity through global giving. Now, we launched 2 new shirts today to commemorate not just the Ghost of Kyiv, but also the 13 from Snake Island. I will pull those up for you right now so you can take a look at them. Use the command !merch to go over and pick one up for yourself. So the very first is our Ghost of Kyiv shirt. Coming up for you now. Again, all proceeds for any merch, not just these shirts, is going to go towards Ukrainian charity. Let me get that closer for you. There you go. And the next shirt coming up here now. You guys can pick these up by using the command !merch. That'll take you over to Bunker Branding's website, where all of our brand new merch is now live. We are in good company. You'll find lots of great merch over there of other YouTubers, other content creators, and folks and names that you'll be very familiar with. Very familiar with. Let's go back to some of the support that we've been receiving. And once again, I'm going to pull up the live stream. That way you guys have something to watch here while we do that. Thank you for the $4.99. Your name is weird. I don't know how to say that. It's just a bunch of symbols, but thank you very much for the $4.99. President Zelensky reminds me of the president from the Independence Day movie. I think something that speaks volumes about President Zelensky is he has refused to leave Ukraine. He has refused to leave Ukraine. There are images, take them for what they're worth, but images of him in kit, next to Ukrainian soldiers. He is still in Ukraine as of the last we had been reported to. But I think that speaks volumes of his character. Joseph, thank you for the 20. Deep Blue Dude, thank you for the 10. JJ McKay, thank you very much for the 530. The Man 42, thank you for the 5. We got some new members here to the Funkers. Welcome in to Gas Station Bum, Friar S, and Love My Alaska. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. The Ghost of Kyiv is a Ukrainian pilot with 6 confirmed air-to-air kills. That is the report, yes. Thank you for the 1776, Tim. Let's jump back over to the map and we can continue talking about some of the reports that have come out today. We'll be live for about 3 hours. We'll be ending somewhere around 8 o'clock Eastern Standard here at Funker530. A live stream will continue on a separate channel, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. All right, let's focus on some of the significant activity that took place in Kyiv today. Now, last night, there were reports of loud explosions in Kyiv. We, of course, have had air raid sirens going off. There was a lot of back and forth on what exactly was shot down, but I think the current consensus... Aaron, thank you for the 100. Thank you very much for that, sir. I think the current consensus is that it was a Ukrainian jet that was shot down. And the reason for that analysis is at the time that loud explosion that you've probably seen either all over the news, but at the time, Russia was still sending cruise missiles. So the likelihood of it being a Russian jet that was shot down is very low. Now, it's still possible that it was Ukrainian some kind of anti-air or defensive system that took down a Russian cruise missile of some kind, but I think the current consensus across is that the loud explosions with multiple views that took place in Kyiv last night were a Ukrainian jet being taken down. We're going to jump back up to here. Let's pull some of our other footage. We've got a pretty awesome piece of footage of an APC impacting a civilian vehicle that I'm kind of excited to bring up here. There is another angle of it that I'll speak to in a moment that we can't show you here, but you can check out on the website. For now, the website is back up. Let's pull up this video. All right, video coming up now for you. So this armored personnel carrier is going to be impacting a civilian vehicle. A lot of back and forth about what exactly we're looking at here from Who's Who. Now, just in case somebody from YouTube is watching, this individual survived. All right, this individual survived miraculously. A Ukrainian tank. It's a Ukrainian tank. Russians do not use Strela anymore. Okay. Make sure you guys are jumping into the Discord because a lot of this conversation, we are taking a look at the analysis that's coming from the community. We are community driven. That's why we do these live feeds as well. Yeah, too easy. I'll just see the pants of that. The website will be, we've been experiencing these problems with the website and the app over the course of the last 72 hours or so. It's going to be a little bit hit or miss. Please be patient with us. Again, we are, from a relative sense, a small team, just doing what we can to bring you as much footage as possible. I heard this was a Ukrainian tank that was commandeered by a Russian. Those are reports that we got as well. Yeah, those are reports that we got as well. Now, the other angle that we have of this on the app and the website, and as you're able to access that, you'll see it. The other angle that we have of this is what appears to be some form of a, in the U.S. Army, we would have called it something close to a deuce and a half, but a flatbed type truck that was speeding its way just in front of this activity that's happening. With a close quarters gun battle that ensued, and there is a death in there. That's one that I cannot show you here on YouTube. I definitely cannot show you that. Let's see if we can't get some of this other footage to come up here. This is one that I definitely want to show you. So, footage that came out of Kharkiv, Ukraine. It's dash cam footage of a civilian driver dodging a BM-21 Grad Barrage. This is absolutely terrifying footage. Just put yourself in this driver's shoes. Okay. Coming up for you now. All around breathing. Can you hear that? You can hear him breathing. Impact. Impact. Impact right in front of him here. Terrifying. That is a Grad Barrage. That is a Grad Barrage, a BM-21 Grad. And I can pull one of those up for you so you can understand what that looks like. This is a BM-21 Grad. From a precision perspective, you know, these MLRS type systems, this one is a little bit rudimentary, if you will. So from a precision perspective, it's kind of an accuracy by volume piece. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other footage that we've got here. Here are some more civilians that were caught in a gunfight. This one's a tough watch as well. Kind of prepare yourself for this.
Ракетная залупа, это, блядь, брошенная. Догорает последняя. Да, это бомба улипала их. Тихо. Все хорошо. Обними маму, ехала. Как я проскочил там. Что это такое? Стреляют. Тихо. А он впереди техника.
You can hear that snap already taking place.
А, это... Потому что бомбили только что впереди хуйню эту всю, блядь. Да, вы пидоры,
Gets a little hairy here real quick.
Стой. Там техника впереди военная.
Дай, проезжай назад.
Давай, газу, блядь.
He's telling him to hurry up, basically.
Я родился Андреем.
Давай. Ляжки на пол!
На пол!
На пол ляжки! Тихо! Ляж на пол ляж делай! Пидорасы ебаные, сука! Окно выпало, блядь. Тихо, Ева, терпи, зайчик, пожалуйста, еще чуть-чуть. Газуй.
Целый газуй.
Фу, ебать. Походу все.
That's more or less the end of that video. So those were civilians caught in some crossfire near Kherson. So let's take a look, and I'll show you on a map where Kherson is. It's actually in the south of Ukraine, down here, just to the northwest of Crimea. One of those invasion points for Russia. Now, before we zoom in here on Kherson, one of the key points about the east and southern invasions is you're gonna find that Russia is gonna try to unify here to have a consolidated front to push northwest. Right. That is if they aren't able to get Kyiv to fall and go through negotiations first. But combining here, that would provide them a very large plot down in the southeast of Ukraine. Kherson, the video we just watched, took place about right here, somewhere in this general area. Okay, let's go back to some of that other footage. We're going to go to our live feed for now and catch up on some of the chat and some of this support that continues to roll in. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's move over to the live feed while I check in on all the support that's flowing in. Sean Carter, thanks very much for becoming a member. Appreciate that. Frederick Asselmere, thank you for becoming a member. JC, thank you for the $5. Zori, thank you for the $10. Gaming with the Gods for $2. What's the Discord? Exclamation point Discord is going to give you the link to join the Discord. If you're a member of the Funkers here, if you have clicked on the join button and signed up to be a member, make sure that you connect your Discord account and your YouTube account, and you do that in your Discord settings. Okay, we've got some instructions in there to help you do so. What that's going to do for you, just to explain why, is that's going to give you access to the hidden member-only area of the Discord. It's pronounced Kiev. Well, so I was pronouncing it Kiev for the last 2 days. Now, what I've seen is it's being pronounced both ways. So you're going to hear me, my brain wants to say Kiev. I'm kind of forcing Kiev, to be honest. Joseph, thank you very much for the $3.94, but I don't know because I'm born and raised in America. I'm not the best with pronunciation, but I give it my best shot. Joseph, thanks very much for the $3.94. Scroll back down here a little bit. Can't read that one. It's in a foreign language of some kind, but thank you very much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Jackson, thank you for the $10. CCS, thank you for the $10. Zori and Ling, thank you for both for becoming members of the stream. Or of the community, I should say. P. Breezy, you guys are doing a great job. We're doing our best. You know, we're not perfect. We're trying to keep the website, the app online. Kathleen Mobile, thanks very much for the $9.13 US. Mr. Squeezle, thank you for the $10. I put Ukraine flags on all my Vixen War Thunder. I like War Thunder. War Thunder's a lot of fun. War Thunder's a lot of fun. I'm typically a tank guy when I play War Thunder, though. And Brennan, thanks very much for the $5 super chat. I'm going to take us back over to our SIGACT map, and we can go through a little bit of those. App doesn't work. Tracking. We are having some issues with the app once again. The issues had subsided for most of the day. It seems like in the evening time, we're having most of our issues. But it is coming back up for short periods and going back down. So as we're able to pull up some of that footage, I'll be showing it to you. All right, we're pulling up let me refresh the map before we pull it up. Can't even chat here? Yes, you can. Hi. ARM USRA. I see your message. Why can't you chat here? So sad. Relax. Map's coming back up. We got air defense getting engaged here. Still have activity all across Ukraine. You know, we talked a little bit earlier about the reports of aid and supplies making their way in from Poland. We watched when we first started today, which was really only about 40 minutes ago. We watched a speech or a press conference coming out of NATO. NATO saying essentially that they have activated land, sea, and air defensive forces, not just supplies. So I'll be interested to see over the course of the next 24 to 48 how that evolves, because that is where things can really start to get, for lack of a better term, interesting, right? Well, Putin has said if NATO intervenes, things will get worse. So we'll see how that pans out. Some more NATO support from the air here. Now, we had some reports last night. We had reports last night of Russia likely not meeting their day one objectives. I don't think they met many of their day two objectives, if they have those, because Putin has started pressing for negotiation. Now, originally Putin said very, very clearly I will not be asking for negotiation. I will not. That being said, he has been vying for negotiation for most of the day today. I think he's getting frustrated. I'm interested to understand, what you guys think, though. Remember Snake Island? Oh, we'll be talking about Snake Island here in a minute or two. What do you think of American civilians going over to fight? Western freedoms should allow you to support and, fight for and do what you think is best. Putin's already destroyed his targets. Putin is actually, it's actually been surprising how little from some of the heavier artillery, cruise missiles, etc., that Russia has used. And the reason for that, you would think that if all of Russia's might mobilized, then yes, Ukraine would have fallen pretty rapidly. I'd like to believe Russia has a very, very large arsenal, and from a manpower perspective, is a very large military. But there has been a lot less of the heavier stuff coming out of Russia, and it's likely that the reason for that is that would have escalated the civilian casualty rates. Right now, in the international community, he's already in hot water. So imagine if by force, by throwing everything at once, suddenly, we have in the tens, 20, and hundreds of thousands potentially civilian casualties. That would be a nightmare for Vladimir Putin. I want to go through a little bit of this support. Thank you guys very much for it. If you aren't familiar with me, my name is Ronnie. I go on Twitter. I go by Ronnie Fit. I also have a second channel where I do play some video games. It's a nice way to kick back after paying such close attention to everything. I'll be live over there after this stream ends, and you can just search Ronnie Fit on Google, and you'll find me. Troy, thanks very much for the 20. Christian, thank you for the 547. Cole, thank you for the 5. Kevin, thank you for the 1. Charlie for the 97 cents. Thank you for all the info. Thank you for being here. That's all I can say. This support is amazing, guys. Thank you for it. We've been here for over a decade on YouTube. We have our own website and our own app. We are having some trouble keeping it online, but we don't believe that it's a traffic issue. Kevin, thanks again for the 5. Trash Bin, thank you for the $5. Inder, thank you for the $3.94. Thank you for making this easy for us to stay informed. I'm doing my best. I'm not an expert specifically in Eastern European affairs. This is just something that we're paying very close attention to. We've been covering war and combat footage for the last 10 years or so. Adam Rogers, thanks for becoming a member. Anton, thank you for the 20. Miles, thank you for the 10. Jason for the 5. Jeremy for the 13. Mercenary Revy, thank you very much for your support. My scroll messed up there. Mercenary Revy, thank you for the 20. Joseph for the $3.94. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's check in on... Let's check in on our live feeds here, and I'll check in with chat as well. Can I get some details about the proceeds and charity, please? Absolutely. 100% of proceeds from our merch store is going towards Global Giving. Global Giving has a program for Ukraine humanitarian aid. 100%. Any shirt, any hat, anything you buy from our merch store, exclamation point merch, is going to Ukrainian charity. 100%. At Global Giving. You can look them up. You can research Global Giving. An excellent charity. International charity. Let's actually go through a couple of those items too. We launched our new merch today, and in honor of not just supporting Ukraine, but also those that were on Snake Island that kind of gave the middle finger to that Russian warship. I will show you something that you guys can go out and grab right now. And again, I'll reiterate this over and over again. I'll scream it from a mountaintop. Any proceeds from our merchandise goes to Ukrainian charity for the next month. The month of March, if you buy something from our merch, anything that we would have received will go to Ukrainian charity. Let's pull up one of our other shirts. Ghost of Kiev is fake. Well, one way or another, I believe in ghosts, and I believe in the Ukrainian fighting spirit, right? And that's what the Ghost of Kiev should be about. Regardless, I think it's a pretty badass shirt. Let me show you. Word is the Russians attack Kiev tonight. Yeah, so, I mean, we have seen them targeting Kiev. We've seen them trying to press into the Kiev Oblast around Kiev. There's been a lot of fighting there. We also have reports. Obviously, we can only confirm or validate. We can't confirm or validate much of it, but we have reports of even sabotage type attempts from Russian soldiers, taking over Ukrainian vehicles and trying to drive into the city. The attempts against Kiev have been somewhat, I guess the best word is stymied, halted, because of Russia's inability to keep the airport that is close. I believe it's Hostomel Airport, that is about 20 miles northwest of Kiev, right? So originally Russia was able to secure Hostomel Airport, but it was taken back yesterday by Ukrainian Spetsnaz, supposedly, reportedly. I think it's real. I've seen videos of 4 air-to-air kills said to be his. He did 3 flights to do it. I can't validate one way or another. Like I said, to me, the Ghost of Kiev is just really about that. It is really a morale piece at this point. It is, regardless of whether it's true or not. The Ghost should just really embody the fighting spirit. Info on casualties. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to say from a casualties perspective, but. There have been reports in, the thousands for Russian casualties. There have been reports in the hundreds. Something to keep in mind is that Russia, when they invaded Georgia, they lost a bunch of aircraft there too, never acknowledged it. So official casualty reports, especially for the Russian side, are going to be very, very difficult to understand. Is the app down? Mine won't load. Yes. It appears that every time we try to go live, the app goes down. But we are working to get it back online. It's going to be spotty for the next couple hours. It's going to be spotty. But as I'm able to pull up some of this stuff, I'll continue to show it to you live here. Gonna pull up. I have some of this footage available to me here, downloaded already. We have a reported photo of the 13. Reportedly, these are our 13 from Snake Island. Well, there are 14 in this photo. But these are reportedly at least some of those individuals that were there at Snake Island. Must be good business for this YouTube channel at the moment. Nikita, we've actually been around for over a decade covering the same type of stuff. If this is the first time you've come across this, welcome. Thanks for being here. See if I can get some of this other footage pulled up for you. Again, I've got it downloaded. Let's look at this one. Yeah, this one's important. We've got the next electronic warfare vehicle coming out of Russia here. I'm sorry. I just had to throw a joke in there. It's a serious situation, but that's funny. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it, guys. I can't help it. All right? We'll go back to the heroes. We'll go back to the heroes. Just got to scroll up through our writers chat here. As we were going through all this stuff, there's so much information and data that's coming out of Russia. What we're trying to do is just weed through it as best as we can. As best as we can. So we already watched the civilians driving through the Grad strike a little bit earlier. See if I can't get that other video pulled up here. What I do want to do is go back to the map though. Let's go back to the map for a little bit. The stream labels weren't there. Looks like we have the website, and we'll pull up some more footage. So we've got another civilian caught in some crossfire here. Coming up for you now.
Танки заправляют. Что там? Твою мать. Там танк. Текают. Ух ты, блядь, ёбаный в рот по танку ебанули, сука! Ух ты, блядь! Я хуею, сука! Прям ебанули по танку, блядь. Ху нахер. Все, я тут стою, блядь, я на самой линии. Все,
I've seen this like 5 times, and that caught me off guard.
Отключаюсь. Ёб твою мать. Ах ты, блядь, сука. Блядь, куда прятаться?
I've watched it like 5 times.
Твою мать. Ебать поехал, сука. Все, я теряюсь.
You know, this is one of those situations that's just.
Вот, сука, поехал.
Imagine driving,
блядь.
you know, driving down the road and suddenly you're just caught in the crossfire.
Все, нахуй прячусь, блядь. Фу, нахуй, пизда.
So that is other footage that we have on the website available to you. Some Ukrainians footage. Them throwing a few punches here coming up now. These are Mi-24s. These are Hinds launching rockets at Russian troops near Rostomel, the airport. Coming up.
Пизда нахуй, блядь, ебашит, сука, нахуй.
Let's run that again.
Пизда нахуй, блядь, ебашит, сука, нахуй.
Okay. Again, guys, Ukraine is not rolling over, and I think that's the reason that Putin is requesting. At one point, he had resorted to asking, and I tweeted about this earlier. Earlier today, he had asked the Ukrainian military to turn against Kiev, to topple the government. I think he's got a better chance of his own military turning against him, to be honest with you. So the large explosion last night over Kiev, we've got some footage of that. There is this footage that we put out yesterday that we didn't get a chance to watch yesterday on yesterday's stream. This one I definitely want to watch here. There was a column of Russian tanks crossing a bridge near Kherson, and we showed you where Kherson was, just to the northwest of Crimea. There's a column of Russian tanks that are crossing this bridge under fire. It's actually a pretty amazing watch. It's coming up here now. See the impacts in the water, on the bridge itself. I could point those out to you. There's going to be an impact right around here. There it is. Warning shots? No, they are trying to impact there. Somebody blew up that bridge today. I don't think it was this bridge. The bridge that was blown up, I believe that was closer to Kiev in the north. This would have taken place very, very far to the south, down near Crimea. But if this bridge has been taken out, I haven't seen that. Can we get a link to the video in that car? It's on our website, funker530.com. All of this footage that we're looking at here is on our website and on the app. We are having a little bit of a hard time keeping the website and app live and online, but it is going, when it does go down, we're bringing it back online as rapidly as we can. All right, let's pull from this one. Somebody asked for us to explain the painted Z's on Russian gear. So there's two things that go into the painted Z's on Russian gear. First and foremost, it's a fratricide thing. A lot of the equipment that Ukraine and Russia are going to be using is going to be very similar equipment, similar color schemes, similar model types, T-80s, T-72s, T-tanks. So a lot of this equipment is going to look pretty similar. Now, if they don't have some kind of a distinguishing marking, you're going to run into a friendly fire situation. Fratricide on the Russian side is obviously, they're the ones putting the Z's. Now, in addition to that, you'll find triangles and squares and circles around the Z's, if you will. The Cyrillic alphabet doesn't actually have a Z in it, but it is a symbol. Those different shapes around that symbol that looks like a Z are supposedly to differentiate stepping off points or from where they are invading, right? So as those invasion forces come together, they can identify, hey, that's a triangle. You might have come from X area, right? Okay, let's jump over to our live feed again. There we are. And I am going to give you guys full screen while I say thank you to some of those that are sending over their support. Derek 125, thanks for becoming a member. Kendo 411, thank you for the $20 super chat. I want to read that one for you. Ate too many habanero jerky, paying for it on the can. At least you're live, so it keeps me occupied. Semper Fi. Well, thanks very much for the $20. Robert, thanks for becoming a member. Maku, thank you for the $3.94. Hey, thank you for the info dump. Also, have you shown that video of the Ukrainian woman giving a Russian soldier a talking to? No, we haven't, but that was kind of a legendary video. We can probably try to find that one. Poland closed the airspace 10 minutes ago for Russia. Yakub, thank you for the 252. Trying to scroll here. My scroll wheel doesn't want to help me out. F1620, thanks very much for the 20. Timothy Brown, thank you for the 20. Desert Lizard, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome in. Connor, thank you for the $1.13. Monday 636 dropped a bombshell of a question here with the $5 super chat. Thanks for that. Do you think Putin will retaliate for NATO sending in supplies to Ukraine? Let's talk about that. So that is one of the biggest concerns to really any support from NATO, right? Earlier on we watched a press conference from NATO where they discussed mobilizing and quote deploying. What that means is yet to be seen. Defensive forces for land, sea, and air. Putin has said very specifically if there is any external intervention, that there would be an escalation. Right? Now, whether or not he lives up to that is an entirely separate question. I don't know. But he has said that's a thing. Have there been any attacks today? Yes, there have been varying attacks all across Ukraine. We're still looking at a Ukraine-wide situation. Attacks are moving closer and closer to Kiev, to the capital. Let's go through a few more of these, a few more of this support. Have you seen the photo of the Ukrainian soldier holding the Asval? He took off a dead Russian Spetsnaz soldier. Yes. Val OP, please nerf. Jeff Whaley, thank you for the $10. Good to go, Joe, I guess. Thanks for becoming a member. Guys, if you're becoming a member on the YouTube stream here, make sure to join the Discord. Use the command !Discord. Don't put a space between the exclamation point and the word Discord. That's going to put you in the Discord where we have a very robust discussion happening right now. It's been happening all night. We have community members in voice lobbies that are discussing this actively. There are lobbies for conflicts in South America, in Africa, Yemen, all over the place. We have been here for over a decade, and we just relaunched our Discord yesterday, and it's already up to almost 4,000 members, 4,000 community members. Now, if you are a member of the live stream on maybe Twitch, it would be a subscriber, would be what it's called. There is a hidden area of the Discord for you to access. All you have to do to access that area in the Discord is connect your YouTube account to your Discord account. You can do that in your Discord settings. Any word on Anonymous declaring cyber war against the Russian government? Yes, supposedly Anonymous has released dossiers or files related to the Russian Ministry of Defense. I have not had the time to research those or to look into those, but Anonymous is kind of known, and I've been following along with Anonymous's activities since circa 2010 when they first really hit the mainstream. That is within standard TTP for them is identify targets and release as much personal information on them as possible. Thank you for showing us what the media won't. We're doing our best to. That is our fundamental mission, is to bring you straight to combat and conflict footage. We try to show it to you as raw as possible. We do have our own moral boundaries. I'm not going to show you kids getting killed and things like that. That's just that there's a boundary there for us. If you'd like to see dead kids, you can kindly find the door. Have fun, enjoy yourself. Good luck. But we do our best to bring it as raw as possible to just show you what we're finding. A lot of the footage that you're seeing right now coming out of Ukraine is very much so raw, very hard to differentiate what's true and what's not. We're overly reliant on the community's voice, right? So we are leveraging the Discord for some of that analysis. We're using public affairs releases from Ukraine, from Russia. Even we're checking in on Russian Telegram, just as far and wide, looking for as much as we can. Now, some of the things, and I'm gonna pull a map back up here, because I want to talk a little bit about some types of footage that we haven't seen a lot of yet, and potentially why. So let's get this map up here. Coming up. So this is, at a bare minimum, a three-sided invasion, right? At a bare minimum, a three-sided invasion. So we have in the south and southeast, troops moving in from Crimea. In the east, we have troops moving across the border in from Russia. In the north, both from Russia and from Belarus, reports of Belarusian troops joining Russia. Some of the footage that we haven't seen a lot of so far is actual force-on-force ground fighting, right? Force-on-force. We have seen it bits and pieces. CNN had an embed near the Hostomel airport up here to the north of Kiev when that was originally taken by Russian forces. We saw some limited video of close quarters combat in Kiev, with a few questions as to whether or not it was Ukrainian or Russian. But a lot of that force-on-force ground combat fighting we haven't seen a whole lot of yet. And there's a couple reasons that we probably haven't. First and foremost, connectivity across Ukraine is under its own form of attack, right? Network analysis in Kharkiv, in these hotbed metropolitan areas, shows that Russia is leveraging some form of communications denial, whether that be electronic warfare or cyber activity. We know that Russia has a very robust and capable cyber program. But I can also tell you that their electronic warfare capability, even at a tactical, localized level, is very capable. So the second reason, there's probably a lot of concerns with just general OPSEC, and they're not posting this stuff yet. Now, there is gonna at least eventually be footage of GoPros, of camera footage from soldiers on each side. We are a connected world. So as that footage becomes available, this will probably be one of the most connected conflicts that we've ever seen. We had a relatively large piece of support come in. Did an IL-76 go down? Look into it. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for the 50. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Swordfish. Thank you for the $2. Scott Hayes, thank you for the 10. Reflection, thank you for the $1.99. I know it's not much, but you're my go-to in Ukraine. You don't even have to do that. Just being here is very helpful to us. If you want to support us, if you ultimately want to support us, first and foremost, just being here, doing all the stupid YouTube stuff that I'm supposed to tell you to do, like hitting the thumb button, engaging in chat, not being an absolute hole while you're engaging in chat, would be appreciated. But just being here is the best way that you can support us. The biggest thing you can do right now is twofold. Download the app, though. Understanding that we're having some problems keeping it online. It's been online all day, and I think it's doing pretty well right now. Let me double check that. Yep, the app and the website are working just fine at the moment. Download the app so that we can reach you if for some reason social media shuts down, if for some reason, something big is happening. That's how we're going to reach you, is through the app. Now, what I did want to cover again is we launched our merch line today with Bunker Branding. You guys might be familiar with Bunker Branding. It's run by Mr. Matt Carricker of Demolition Ranch. If you're not familiar with Demolition Ranch, you're living under a rock. We launched our brand new merch, but we have decided that all merch sales for the month of March are going to go to Ukrainian charity, specifically global giving. So you can look at Global Giving. You can Google Global Giving. They are an excellent charity. Definitely someone we are happy to stand behind. And there are a few items that will help us remember the 13 from Snake Island. Russian warship. Go f*** yourself. This is available now. You can use the command !merch. !merch. Any merch that you buy from us is going to veteran charity. Demo is just a really good guy. I have had the chance to meet Matt, to meet Demolition Ranch, and he was a very genuine guy. He was awesome. That's not the only one, though. For those of us that believe in ghosts, for those of us that believe in ghosts, what is this that I'm looking at here, Josh? Hell yeah. Thanks, buddy.
Специально запишу по-русски.
We're gonna watch a Ukrainian. This is footage that's just now hitting my inbox, and it was provided to me by Josh. Josh is a former Marine, one of our writers. If you're interested in, meeting some of our team, with interacting with our team behind the scenes, we are very active, all of us, in the Discord chat. There's even a little meet the team area that you can jump in and find out a little bit about all of our backgrounds. We're gonna check in on this Ukrainian soldier and his message to Russia. There is a translation at the bottom. Here we go.
Чтобы было, блядь, понятнее. Шо, ребята, как дела? Шо, тиха украинская ночь, да, как говорил великий украинский писатель Гоголь? Все ли у вас хорошо, ребятки? Нравятся ли вам наши байрактары? Как вы думаете, что это над вами сейчас летает? Как вы думаете, что это шуршит в кустах, пацаны? Какие у вас есть мысли по этому поводу? Что бы это могло быть, блядь? Ребятки, вам пиздец. Вы сейчас остановились. У нас все хорошо. Мы подтягиваем резервы. У нас есть авиация. У нас есть танки. У нас есть все. Вам жопа, парни. Давайте так. Сдавайтесь нахуй в плен. Пока есть такая возможность. Многие ваши уже выбрали этот путь. Он не самый херовый на самом деле. Мы с пленными... Возможно, это ошибка, но мы к пленным относимся довольно хорошо. Поэтому сейчас вы стали, а дальше мы начнем вас гонять. И делать мы это будем прямо сейчас. Поэтому используйте свой последний шанс.
So that is a Ukrainian soldier's message to Russia. And I want him to be my dad. Dad? That's Giga Chad energy is what that is. And I love the morale. I love the morale. Thanks for that one, Josh. Now, I did want to show you guys something pretty riveting coming out of Russia, and we talked about this a little bit earlier. And we talked about electronic warfare. I showed this picture earlier. It was super controversial, but it is some of the most current electronic warfare capability that Russia has. I am not an expert on this specific piece of technology, but it's just riveting here. I can't get over this photo. Coming soon from Russia. Let's check back in on some of our footage. We're going to cover a little bit of the footage that we talked about last night as well. I do want to, just simply for the purposes of making sure we're remembering, I do want to go back through that footage of Snake Island. I think that's something that's still so pertinent and so relevant. We can also maybe cover some captured Russian soldiers. Let's look here. I'm going to get these all lined up for you. There's a lot of this footage that I can't show you, though, guys. So that's why you're going to see me go full screen to hide my screen, because it is not safe for work. And YouTube does not allow us to show you that here. We do our best to stay within, while we're live on YouTube, the boundaries that YouTube gives us. But that's why we have our own app and we have our own website. There is footage of Snake Island. Yes, we do have it. And we went through that last night. We've been live the last 2 nights talking about all the footage that we had seen, that we've been able to corroborate, validate in some cases, even the footage that we haven't been able to. So we've been live the last 2 nights, and we covered that one really heavily last night. So speaking of prisoners of war, let's take a look at a very young Russian soldier being treated for his combat-related injuries. It is coming up right now.
Россиянам никто не рад.
I don't yet have a translation for this one, but we will get one to you guys.
В камеру смотри. Кто должен уезжать? Говори.
Друзья мои.
Кто твои друзья? Откуда ты приехал?
Из Нижнего Новгорода.
Сейчас, подожди,
So the most pertinent thing to take away from this is less about what they're talking about, but more about how he's being treated, right? More about how he's being treated. He's not being tortured, right? They're bandaging him. Wrong button. Let's check in on... this one. Another close call by a motorist, right? You're driving down the road on the way to your Gam's house, and suddenly stuff starts blowing up around you.
Посмотрим, что там. Что-то все разворачиваются. Самолет опять. Ебать, видели?
Goodness. Let's watch that one again.
Ну, а мы едем дальше. Посмотрим, что там. Что-то все разворачиваются. Самолет опять. Ебать, видели?
All right, what I want to do is I'm going to give you guys a full screen of our feed, and I'm going to jump onto a little bit of Twitter on the back end and catch up on a couple things over there while we also go through some of the support. Okay, so I'm going to throw up our live feed that we've been monitoring here. And that is about to come up now. Here you are. Button. Smitty, thank you very much for the 358 super chat. Corey, thank you very much for the 5. J Mash, thank you for the $1.99. Justin, thank you for the $10. Joe, thank you for the $4.99. Adam, thank you for the 10. James, thank you for the $1.99. The aircraft shot down in Kiev was a Ukrainian Su-27. Global News on YouTube shows crash site. Unit logo with Ukraine markings on an access panel. That's what we had talked about earlier and suspected. Amazing coverage. Thanks, brothers. We're doing our very best. Thank you for the 10, Dorel. Any chance of live feeds in Kiev? That's what we're looking at here. Top right is Kiev. Top left is Sumy. Bottom left is Dnipro and Kakhovka in the bottom right. Wings of Steel, thanks for becoming a member. I am Cinder, thank you for the 232. Right and 2, thank you for the $10. Andrew, thank you for the 236. Toast Malone 88, thank you for the 10. Really been enjoying your analysis on these live streams, and I appreciate the whole Funker Sport team. We are definitely a full team, and I am just one part of it. I am just one small part of it. Crazy Criminal and Robert B, thanks for becoming members. Guys, make sure you join the Discord. Exclamation point. Words are tough. Words matter. Exclamation point Discord. But the most important thing that you can do today is download the app. So you run the command exclamation point app. It is available on both iOS and on Google Play. We've got some interesting footage coming here. A Russian tennis player, Audrey Rublev. And this is going to... I'm going to explain some of the significance to this here in a moment. Writing no war pleas on a camera. Now, we're going to talk about why this matters here in just a moment. Let's take a look at the video. Let's talk about why that matters. So yesterday, we spoke pretty heavily about a lot of the protests that have been happening across Russia, that have been happening in St. Petersburg and Moscow, and just about every metropolitan city you can think of. We also spoke to a Russian citizen live yesterday whose family is still in Moscow. You guys remember Ray? We spoke to him. There is a lot of resistance in Russia to Putin's aggression in Ukraine. A lot of resistance. And I think that is something that Putin didn't expect either. I think all of those things are contributing to Putin asking for negotiations, asking to bargain. And what's interesting is I don't think Zelensky is really ready to bargain. He might have to at some point. But I think he wants to less than Putin does at this point. Russian IL-76 transport plane with paratroopers on board south of Kiev shot down. We can check in on that. We're looking for it. I'm reviewing a piece of footage right now before bringing it up. So we have some footage of some tracers in Kiev. We're gonna take a look at that here. You can hear small arms in the background. This is Kiev. See those tracers right here early on in the video. Right there. We are tracking the reports of the Russian transport plane that was brought down. We have yet to see any video of that, but if we do find it, we'll be talking about it here. Let's pull our live feedback up here. There we go. And I'll check back in on all the support you guys are sending over. Thanks for it. I appreciate it so much. We all do. Live feed's coming up. Ozark Survival Supply, thanks for the $10. Thank you for keeping the world updated. We're doing our best. You know, we are just, again, a small team. Oh, I know, simple. Alex White, thank you for the $299.99 super chat. Thank you for that very much. That is huge support to us. F Google, thank you for the $10. Thank you for doing your best to compile the information and tell the truth as well as you can. Just, you know, I'm giving it to you as straight as I've got it, right? I'm not trying to spin it for you, but this is the information that we have at hand right now. So thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alex, thank you again. 300 doll hairs. That's a lot of dollars. A lot of dollars. Louis, thank you for the 3284. What's the latest on Kherson Bridge? It was a CNN report today saying that they recaptured it. I have not read anything today about the Kherson Bridge. We did have some footage yesterday of Russian troops taking fire as they tried to cross it. But that's something we can dive a little bit further into. Hey, thanks for this channel. God bless all you vets out there. Thank you very much for that. Alan, thank you for becoming a member. April, thank you for the $4.99. Doing an amazing job. We're doing our best. If you make that Russian EW vehicle shirt, I swear I'll buy two. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Down with Russia. Prayers to Ukraine. Corey, thanks for the $5. Video circulating of Russians moving ICBMs. JMass, thank you for the $1.99. Thank you guys for all the support. Do Super Chats go to the Ukrainian fund as well? No. No, they do not. I'll always be upfront with you. Thank you for keeping the world updated. Pride or Honesty, thank you for becoming a member. Now, again, I'm going to pull up some of that new merch that you guys have, or that we have out there. And I can even pull up some of the other stuff that we've got as well, for those that might be interested. Hey, kitty. That one's Boots. My dog was in here earlier. But let's take a look at, first and foremost, some of our brand new merch. We partnered with Bunker Branding to bring this to you. Bunker Branding is run by Mr. Matt Carricker from Demolition Ranch. And we were just very excited about it. We've been working on this with them for about a month now, and they've been very helpful with getting us launched for today. That's available now. Any merch you buy on our merch store goes to support Ukrainian charity. I just got that shirt. FU Russian ship. Russian warship. Go yourself. That's iconic at this point. Iconic. We're gonna watch that footage. We're gonna watch this footage in a little bit here. But that is not the only new shirt that we've got out. We also have a shirt for those of us that believe in ghosts. I've said that a few times, but remember, we will still have new folks join the chat that haven't had a chance to take a look at this stuff yet. It is all available. Use the command !merch. Super lame shirt. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. You just ordered both shirts, Thrack. Excellent. Thanks for doing that. Thanks for doing that. All merch that you purchase from us, from our merch store, !merch, is going to go to Ukrainian charity. All right? I can't scream that enough. And we are going to be using Global Giving as our charity to route to route these merch proceeds. So any money that we would have received from this stuff, and I can tell you that within an hour of us putting out the first shirt, we had sold 500 of them. This is not going to be some small hunk of change. We are going to be sending in some support to Ukrainian charity. What's your take on the LGBT community? Should they have the same rights like us? They're no different than I am. They're just people. People. All right. Let's jump back over to some of our live feeds. We're going to actually, I want to go to the map. I want to take a look at some of the other SIGACs. Let me get it refreshed here. Make sure you guys are also following our founder at FunkerActual on Twitter. Anytime we have a new video that's coming out for this stuff, we're also tweeting about it. The fastest way to get it is with the app. If you guys are interested to follow me, I'm at Ronnie Fit. I also have a second YouTube channel that I'll be live at starting tonight, somewhere around 8 o'clock or so. So that's about an hour and 15 from now. We're going to close things down here. I'm going to go over there and I'm going to kick back with the community and play a few video games. Gene, why would anybody bring up LGBT? I don't know, but I wanted to respond to it, Weird question, to be honest with you. Let's pull up this map here. Coming up. Got reports of a child killed and another in the hospital as a result of shelling here. Somebody asked if we could talk about the contested areas. Sure. And what I'd actually like to do is kind of start top to bottom. What I'd love to do is start top to bottom and help folks understand how this started playing out and why. And you can actually see the red areas I'm going to talk about here in a moment. Why it's panning out the way it is. So 2008. In 2008, some of us remember Russia's invasion of Georgia. Now, in Russia's invasion of Georgia, they had decided that a area called South Ossetia, right here, and Abkhazia, here, were independent of Georgia. You see, Georgia is a former Soviet republic, not unlike Ukraine, just much, much smaller, and does have cultural and ethnic ties with Russia. So those two areas, they declared as breakaway states or independent states almost immediately following that, and this is during the Olympics. During the Olympics. It's weird that we're during the Olympics right now, isn't it? Almost immediately following that, Russia invaded Georgia, right? Fast forward to today. Well, fast forward to 2014, and Russia annexed Crimea, right? Technically, Crimea remains Ukrainian territory, right? The invasion started in 2014. So Crimea was annexed and held by Russian proxies for a little while. There were also Russian troops that were stationed there. On, I want to say the 20th, 18th, 19th, 20th, somewhere around there of February this year, Russia decided that two areas in Donbass, Luhansk and Donetsk, were breakaway states or independent states, right? They claimed that the government, quote unquote government, and this is the Russian installed government, had claimed independence. So Russia merely said, we're just acknowledging their independence right now. Well, those are still Ukrainian territories. The alignment of the playbook here between Georgia down here with South Ossetia and Abkhazia being designated as breakaway states, and then you have Donetsk and Luhansk being designated as breakaway states. That playbook is identical. Identical. So, only a couple days after they announced the acknowledgement of these breakaway states, the invasion began. And Russia, in Vladimir Putin's statement, he said specifically, I'm authorizing a special operation in Ukraine to, quote, pacify and denazify Ukraine. Now, originally, he said very specifically, I'm really only going to be focused here on the east, right? I'm gonna be focused on those breakaway regions, those areas that want to separate. Suddenly, we have a three-sided conflict. An invasion from the north, supported by Belarusian soldiers, where they've captured Chernobyl. They've captured Chernobyl, which is something like, 50, 60 kilometers from, or miles, I don't recall which, from Kiev, here, the Ukrainian capital. We have Russian forces that have made their way into Crimea and are now pushing across the Kherson Bridge, the eastern bridge over here. So they're coming in from the south, from the north, from the east, obviously in Luhansk, in Donetsk. Some of the heaviest fighting has been up near Kharkiv. I think the depiction here, and I can't confirm this, but I think the depiction in red that they are trying to show, what is this? Okay, is Russian occupation, or maybe Russian control. Russian control. Now, when Chernobyl fell, the significance of that, like I said, it goes beyond just geography too, right? That is still an active nuclear area. I'm not a nuclear expert, but if you start shooting at a nuclear, a radioactive area, what's the possibility that it's going to make stuff worse? I don't know. There were reports of debris falling, that radiation levels had spiked after that. Why I can't validate any of that stuff. Let's jump back over to our live feed for a few minutes. And I'm going to need to potty here in a minute. And I'm allowed to say potty because I am a dad of 2 girls. Okay? I'm allowed to say potty. Let's jump back over to our live feed. I'm going to give you guys a link to this live feed for when we go offline. This is hosted by our very good friend who runs the Poised Tactical channel. That is the link for the live feed that we're about to pull up while I go potty. It's coming up now. And we'll be right back. Max, yes, you can call me Dad. Ronnie Beck, I had to potty. I'm not Kim Jong-un. I go potty too. Didn't they have reports that he doesn't poop or something? Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to me. Where do I find uncut pics of this war? You can find a lot of uncut footage on our website and on the app. And you can run the command !app to download that. It's available on the Apple Store and on Google Play. I want to check in on some of this continued support that you guys are sending over to us. Thank you for it just so much. It means the world to us. Wayne, thank you for the $10. Ukraine ambassador just spoke on Chernobyl. He said the rad levels are up more than normal due to all the heavy vehicles moving over the top of the soil and the exclusion zone kicking up radioactive dust. Yep. Thank you for that. Thank you for that good piece of info. Cheeseburger. Thank you very much for the 666. I'm doing my best, Cheeseburger. But thanks for very much. He says, okay, dude, you just completely washed over the direct influence the U.S. had in the overthrowing the Ukrainian government in 2014. Thanks for that. Valuable. Dredge 1956, thanks for the $10 super chat. T-shirt with sunflower seed lady telling the Russian soldiers to put seeds in their pockets. Sunflowers grow out of their dead bodies. That's one we could think about doing. Thanks for the 358. Scott McConaughey, thanks for the $10. No, I haven't. Scott, thank you for that $10. Like I mentioned, just bought your Warship shirt. Thanks. Any merch sales that we have are going to go to Ukrainian charity. No matter which merch you buy on our merch store. It's hosted by Bunker Branding. Really good merch too. Kev, thanks for becoming a member. Todd, thank you for becoming a member. Oinker, John, and Kanaka, thank you for becoming members. Montez, thank you for the $20. Any word on the Polish ammo trucks / Russian response? We talked about this a little bit earlier. We have seen photo evidence of those, and I believe it's not just Polish. I think it's NATO support that is flooding in from the west. But we also watched, and we could probably go through this and watch it again because there are some key things that NATO stated in the press conference that we watched. They specifically stated that they will defend NATO allies. So words matter very much in press conferences at that level with the gravity of the situation now. The words that were put down in that speech before he read it were likely have poured over by tens of people, right? The interesting piece that comes along with that is, although Ukraine is not a NATO member, they are a non-member ally. So he mentioned specifically deploying NATO resources for land, sea, and air. Excuse me, not NATO resources, NATO defensive troops for land, sea, and air, which would, theoretically include tanks, jets, etc. Deploying is something that I think we're going to find out what that means over the course of the next 24 to 48. What is the red area by Moldova? I believe that's Transnistria. I believe. Before I lie to you, let me pull that back up. Yeah, that is Transnistria. I just didn't want to mispronounce it. So there's some significance there as well. Let's pull the big map back up. Transnistria is another one of those Russian breakaway states that isn't technically recognized by anybody but Russia, right? Now the question was specific to this area here. There were Russian troops that were being positioned here in Transnistria. I haven't seen many reports of Russian troops coming out of Transnistria. The closest thing that we had was the activity around Odessa. There had been a Russian intelligence collection vessel, ship, boat. I'm not Navy. Some Navy folks get real mad when I say a boat when it's a ship. I don't know the difference. It floats, it's a boat. There was a boat out here, and it was doing an intelligence soak on the Odessa area. There were reports of some activity happening in Odessa. We have seen some minor footage But the majority of the footage that we've seen, I would say, has been closer to Kiev, in Kharkiv. Less footage in the east in Donetsk and Luhansk than I expected to see. This is the area that you'd think was the hottest, right? If it floats, it's a boat. Anecdote, story time. I was taking a tour through like a warship in like in Virginia, and down in Newport News, and it was an old like World War II boat, and I was like, wow, this boat is amazing. And the tour guide, an older portly gentleman, said it's a ship. I said, what? It's a ship. Okay. Why isn't it a boat? He went on some just overdrawn, way too aggressive, explanation about how if it turns into the water or turns out of the water. I checked out. I checked out entirely on what he was telling me. Sorry. Didn't mean to take us away from Ukraine here, but I figured that was pertinent. It's a ship? Is that what you said, Josh? What's the difference between a ship and a boat, Josh? Josh is in my ear. He's a Marine, so almost Navy. Boats. Well, so he says boats are small, but ships are big. Where is the breaking? Where's the line of demarcation between a boat and a ship? What about houseboats? So he said, and you guys can't hear him, but he's in my ear. He's one of our journalists. He said you don't typically live on a boat, but you live on a ship. So I asked him, what about houseboats? And he said, you got me there. So I won that one. We'll see about the next one that Josh and I get into. Okay. All right, we're going to pull up footage of that, of Gam Gam talking to the Russian soldier here.
А хто ви такі?
We have exercise. Let's go full screen.
Вчення? Ви що, росіяни? Якого хера ви тут робите?
Ну, сейчас наш с вами разговор ни к чему не приведет.
Вы оккупанты. Вы фашисты. Вы пришли на нашу землю.
Хорошо.
Какого хера вы пришли с оружием к нам?
Кто сказал?
Возьмите семечки, положите сырые, чтобы хоть подсолнухи росли, когда вы здесь ляжете.
Сейчас наш разговор ни к чему не приведет. Давайте не будем усугублять эту ситуацию. Пожалуйста.
Как усугублять
Пожалуйста,
ситуацию?
не будем усугублять ситуацию. Наш с вами
Ребята,
разговор ни к чему не
ребята,
приведет.
положите в карманы
Ничего не
семечки.
решит. Наш с вами разговор.
Я поняла, положите семечки или
Хорошо.
семена цветов.
Я-
Вы здесь семенами и ляжете.
Сделаю.
Вы
Да,
пришли
хорошо.
на мою землю.
Хорошо, я вас выслушаю. Хорошо, я вас выслушаю.
Вы пришли на мою землю.
Хорошо, я вас выслушаю.
Вы понимаете?
Я вас
Вы
выслушаю.
оккупанты.
Хорошо.
Вы враги.
Да.
И вы уже с этой секунды прокляты.
Да.
Я вам отвечаю.
Все. Теперь послушайте меня.
Я вас услышала.
Не будем усугублять ситуацию, пройдите.
А куда уже усугублять? Вы пришли, блядь, непрошенные твари. Конченые.
Pieces of shit. Oh, she's just as much of a, and these are Josh's words, she's just as much of a Giga Chad as the last guy we watched. I kind of want to watch that one again. Yeah, we're gonna watch that one again because that's an uplifting video. So this is a Ukrainian's response or statement to Russia.
Специально запишу.
And it's coming up now. We're gonna go full screen with this one again. That way you guys can see the whole thing.
По-русски. чтобы было, блядь, понятнее. Шо, ребята, как дела? Шо, тиха украинская ночь, да, как говорил великий украинский писатель Гоголь? Все ли у вас хорошо, ребятки? Нравятся ли вам наши байрактары? Как вы думаете, что это над вами сейчас летает? Как вы думаете, что это шуршит в кустах, пацаны? Какие у вас есть мысли по этому поводу? Чтобы это могло быть, блядь? Ребятки, он пиздец. Вы сейчас остановились. У нас все хорошо. Мы подтягиваем резервы. У нас есть авиация. У нас есть танки. У нас есть все. Вам жопа, парни. Давайте так. Сдавайтесь нахуй в плен. Пока есть такая возможность. Многие ваши уже выбрали этот путь. Он не самый херовый на самом деле. Мы с пленными... Возможно, это ошибка, но мы к пленным относимся довольно хорошо. Поэтому сейчас вы стали, а дальше мы начнем вас гонять. И делать мы это будем прямо сейчас. Поэтому используйте свой последний шанс.
Reconnection successful. We should be coming back. We should be coming back, folks. How are we? Hi, we're here. We're here. This makes 4. This makes 4 times now that we've been taken offline during a stream. 4 times. Right? Luckily, this time we were able to recover fast enough. I had to make a couple adjustments. But we're here. How are we? So this is an approved propaganda channel then? No, this is just footage that we're catching out of Ukraine. You're not hearing any spin on it. Just if it's funny, it's funny. Here, we'll give you something unbiased here. I'll give you something unbiased. We'll take a look at the next iteration of electronic warfare coming out of Russia. All right? How's that? Is that propaganda enough for you? No, but we the last few nights we've been having a few issues. Once the live stream, has kind of reached a peak from a viewer perspective, we've been having some issues keeping the live stream online. Now, I'll be talking about this a little bit later on my channel, some specific things that I'm doing behind the scenes. So if you'd like to join us for that, check the link for my channel down below. We'll be playing some games later on tonight to try to break away from the world for a little bit. Everybody needs that breakaway, and we've been pretty heavily focused on covering Ukraine. But somebody out there just doesn't want us to be live, and that's okay, because we'll keep coming back. Are the Russians doing this? Not that I can tell. And like I said, I'll be talking about some of the things that I've been taking a look into on the other channel. I don't want to cover a lot of them here. Let's check back in on our live feed while I check back in on some of the support that's coming in from the Funker community. A lot of you are new to the Funkers, so I'm going to give you a quick and dirty overview of who we are. We've been around now for well over a decade. Let me get our live feed back up here. We're back. I just keep rolling with it. They're throwing hooks at me, and I got, it's like cat reflexes. This is not my internet connection. I have a very fast internet connection. I would like everybody to know that. I'd like everybody to know that that it's not the internet connection. Before we get taken offline permanently, let me give you the quick and dirty about us. We are Funker 530. We've been in the media before. This is not new to us. We've been around for over a decade covering combat footage, use of force footage, whether it be, activity from Afghanistan or even historical footage from Vietnam, World War II, right? We've been covering this stuff for over a decade now, and that's why we're live with you today, to try to bring you some of the footage from our app and from our website that we're seeing coming out of Ukraine. This is one of the most connected wars that we will have ever seen, right? Technology has reached a point to where it is synonymous with humanity. Everybody's got a phone. You got a phone in your pocket. You've got a camera. You've got all of this stuff is just available at hand. So it's important for us to make sure that people understand conflict and war. We're a 100% veteran run. Myself, our writers, our founder are all U.S. and allied nation veterans that have deployed overseas for, damn it. I'm hanging in. I'm hanging in. We're back. We're back. How long can we keep it up? How long? How long? I'll just keep playing whack-a-mole here. I'm just going to keep playing whack-a-mole with my settings. Let me make another adjustment here. Somebody doesn't want us to be live. If you want access to the stuff that they don't want us to be live to show you, download the app. Download the app. I'm going to go live on another channel here in just a little bit. We'll probably end up tearing this stream down. It's quite obvious that they're going to keep, that somebody out there is going to keep, coming at us. Make sure you have the app in your hands. Make sure you've downloaded it. If you want to follow me over to the other channel where we're going to be playing some games, kicking back and just breaking away from a little bit of this, a little bit of this world for a little bit, run the command ! Ronnie Fit. Check the link down below. To finish what I was saying though, the last couple things I want to cover. We are a veteran-run organization. We are not a media conglomerate. We've got 6 dudes that work here. That's 1 1/5 hands worth of people. All right. So tap the sub, tap the thumbs up for you, for us, for the for the community. Join the Discord. The Discord is brand new. We've got a ton of great conversation that's happening in there right now about all of this footage that we're seeing. I can't ask enough. If you download that app, we're going to be able to reach you when things like this happen. When things like this happen. Is there any footage of the ghost? Thanks for the $100. There is footage reportedly of the ghost. We can't verify its authenticity. We are unable to verify its authenticity. Okay? Keep up the excellent work, Funker. We're doing our best. We're doing our best against some tall odds. Against some tall odds. Throwing a couple of counter punches ourselves, if you will. Just slipping punches, I guess I should say. Not really allowed to punch back, but I want to go through some of the support that's flooding in. Let me refresh my alerts up here since we keep getting disconnected. They are not up to date. D. Clarkson, thanks for the $100. Blood Arena, thank you very much for becoming a member. Italian German, thank you for the $50. Thanks for your hard work and your former service, brother. We are a team, and I am just one small part of that team. The best gamer, the best gamer. That's good. You got me. You got me with that one, man. Thanks very much for becoming a member. Konar McPherson, thanks for becoming a member. Blood Arena, thank you for the 1433. Heard of a VPN? What do you think I'm adjusting? Why do you think we're able to come back? Thanks very much for the support. I appreciate that. Wesley, thank you for the $5. Nuclear Warhead, thank you for the $2. Who's winning? I would say, to be honest with you, Russia continues to gain ground, but I would say from an international perspective, from a defensive perspective, that Ukraine is putting up more of a fight than than Russia expected them to. You know what I mean? Even the British Ministry of Defense said very specifically, it's likely that Russia has not achieved their objectives as fast as they thought. Have you seen the live webcam footage from Sumy? Nothing else happening regardless of the area being under Russian control. Yep. Thank you for this coverage. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Over 100 paratroopers down. Maybe look into IL-76. I'm retired. We have been looking into it. We don't see any footage that's coming out of the area right now. We don't see any footage. Is Ghost of Kiev real? I believe in ghosts. I believe in ghosts. Let's talk about the ghost of Kiev really quick before. What I'm going to end up doing is probably peeling back this stream. It's apparent. I think we're still going kind of strong right now. Oh, thanks, Mama. Wife just brought me a Dr. Pepper cream soda. We're doing well right now. We're doing well right now. I do want to talk a little bit about our new merch. And the only reason I want to talk about that is because all proceeds of our merch go towards Ukrainian charity. So the very first one that I want to show that most of you have seen already, but remember, new folks are continuing to join the stream, is remembering those on Snake Island. Russian warship, go f*** yourself. Now, we launched our new merch line today. We've actually been working to launch the merch line now for quite a while, in the months. So there is some irony that we are launching it today, but we launched that through Bunker Branding. Bunker Branding is run by Matt Carricker from Demolition Ranch, and we're super excited to be part of the team. I'm going to pull up the other one as well. There you are. For those of us that do believe in ghosts. Now you can pick that up using the command !merch. !merch. I had the chance to meet Matt from Demolition Ranch at SHOT Show. I'm actually wearing one of the shirts I got from SHOT Show now that I think about it. And he was an awesome dude. So big thanks to him for bringing us into his family of creators. And we're excited about the future. But this launched today, brand new. What is the Ghost of Kiev? The Ghost of Kiev is a story of a Ukrainian pilot that whom has supposedly and reportedly shot down at least 6 Russian aircraft, right? There is, of course, a lot that we can't validate to that. But at a bare minimum, what we're looking at here is the embodiment of the Ukrainian fighting spirit, right? Again, all merch proceeds are going to go towards Ukrainian charity, and specifically, if you'd like to look into the charity that we're going to work with, because it means nothing for me to tell you that without knowing the charity. Global Giving. Global Giving has a Ukraine humanitarian program that they are running. Look into Global Giving. They are an excellent charity. An excellent charity. All merch, not just this merch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the merch store so you can take a look at some of our other stuff. This will be one of the last things we do, but we're still going strong. We're still going strong. Don't have to roll with any punches. Just we've got other stuff in there, including hats. Are we back? It's like cat. It's like a cat. You know, it's catching me just a little bit on the chin, but we're here. All right, we're here. I keep clicking fast enough to be able to come back. I keep clicking fast enough. Let me show you guys the rest of the merch store here if I can. Uh-oh. Wait, are we good? I think we might have crashed Bunker Branding's website. ! merch. What I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to tear this down. I'm going to give you guys a link that you can go follow along a live feed. This live feed is run by our very good friends, Poise Tactical. Poise Tactical is running some camera feeds. They also have the flight radar for you to look at and a good Twitter feed from Twitterfall. We'll continue to publish updates on the app. Just checking on my bitrate. We're still good. We'll continue to publish updates on the app. Make sure you have it downloaded. If you want to follow me over to the next live stream where we'll be kicking back, playing games, and laughing about having to roll with a couple punches here, run the command !RonnieFit. Check the link down below. Just to plug our community over there. It is a gaming community. I play video games. Get over it. We did over $27,000 to veteran charity last year, and the way that we do that is I take donations for the Fit PC. I send veterans through my partnership with a 501c3 gaming PCs to help them break away from life. So we'd love to have you. We'd love to help drive. We'd love to bring you into the fold to help drive a little bit of good back in the world. And the last thing I'd say is stay informed. Good night, everybody.